Big show because it is the week that Phillies baseball returns. Of course, you can hear the opener right here on WIP on Thursday. And I came back to town very excited for Phillies baseball. You know, just first of all, Ike, you've said this a bunch of times, something to watch every night, get involved in. I've been more optimistic about this team, I feel like, than most won 95 games last year. Have heard some good signs through spring training, all that stuff. What's his name? Bryce Estrada is hitting, and Chris Sanchez is hitting 98 on the gun, all these positive things. And then I get back into town this morning around 9 a.m., and I'm looking at what everybody was saying over the weekend, so on and so forth. And Rob Thomson actually said something that ruined my entire vibe. Here's what he said yesterday.
I know the question everybody's asked all spring is your lineup. What will it look like come Thursday? Is today a pretty good preview, or is that just reading too much into it?
Well, we're going to go with Trea leading off tomorrow, so we're still fighting through it. And I'm thinking about, maybe against a left-handed starter, it's Trea leading off. Right-handed starter, it's Schwarber leading off. But I'm not quite there yet. But the 9 guys you see today are going to be in the lineup on opening day.
This team is going to send me to the insane asylum. I am going to go insane following this team doing just the easiest thing in the entire world. First of all, how are you still working your way through it? Spring training is like 8 weeks long. What is there to figure out? And I don't think they understand. I don't think Rob Thomson understands. I don't think the organization understands. Also, based on what I saw Dave Dombrowski say about what a disaster they are doing by doing it this way to start. This whole 2 starting lineups. Sometimes Schwarber, it leads off. Sometimes Trea Turner leads off. First of all, this just sets it up for controversy. The first time the team wins 3 in a row when Schwarber is leading off, and then they go back to Trea Turner leading off, and they score 1 run, and everybody's fighting about what the lineup should be. And they could say as much as they want that it doesn't matter that everybody's fighting what the lineup should be, but it matters. It makes the entire thing a conversation when it doesn't need to be a conversation. The second thing that this pisses me off about is them not having the guts to have difficult conversations with players who have not got the job done. Yes, Bryce, I know you like hitting third, but you're going to hit second. Yes, Trea, I know you like hitting home runs, but you're going to lead off. Yes, Kyle Schwarber, I know you're 260 pounds and the second slowest guy on the team and hit 40 home runs. You're not going to lead off. You're actually going to hit cleanup. Nobody has the guts to just make this decision. Third, how are people like Trea Turner and Kyle Schwarber going to adjust their hitting approach when they're hitting in different spots of the lineup 3 times a week? This is not the difference between hitting third and fifth, which isn't that big a deal. The difference between hitting leadoff and not hitting leadoff is a completely different mindset. It is Trea Turner having to change his mindset to hit leadoff. He said that to us when we talked to him. But you know what this really is, Ike? And this is the thing that drives me the most crazy, is by doing it this way, they are just pandering to us because they think everybody else is stupid and the way that they've been doing it is fine. They're just like, you know what we'll do? Everybody's whining for us to change the lineup, so we'll do this half-assed thing where Kyle Schwarber's doing it 60% of the time and Trea Turner's doing it 40% of the time, and we're just going to slowly ease back to the other one and know, because we know better, because we know that the problem was not the batting order, yet they've changed nothing. We know that there's nothing we need to change. We need to just get lucky in September and October, and if we just get lucky, everything will be fine. And it reminds me of the stupid Ben Simmons thing. What everybody told me, you don't understand. A point guard doesn't need to shoot the basketball. He does so many other great things.
Celebrate him. Celebrate all the stuff he does well.
And this is them going, we've won more playoff games than any team in baseball the last 3 years. Our regular season wins have gone up. You don't know. Everything's fine. And it just drives me, just switch the friggin' lineup, have the fast guy who hits 300 hit leadoff, hit the big slow guy who hits home runs hit cleanup, and stop making this more difficult than it needs to be. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, and I totally understand why. I wish I could push back against what you're saying, but I feel very similar to the way that you feel, and I kind of view it the same way, that this is a lot of nothing, quite frankly. This is more or less, let's try this, let's try that. And then eventually we'll settle into what we really want to do,
Right,
which is have Schwarber hitting leadoff.
Everything the same as it's been for the last 3 years.
Yeah,
everything the same.
And it makes me sad because here's the thing. I'm excited about baseball starting. I'm semi-excited about this team. Like they got a lot of likable players. I want to see what they go out and do. I want to see what Kepler, as Jack has been all excited about all spring training.
Oh, we all Keplered up.
25 home runs. Right?
Yeah, I want to see what the big guy's going to do out there in left field. But I'm going to tell you what it makes me feel. This is the beginning of, I don't want to sound too dramatic, but it is, to me, this is the final nail in this window of Phillies baseball to be successful. This is what we're going out on the end with this. This is, give me a righty lineup, give me a lefty lineup.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see what happens with it. Like, they run out of answers. They've committed to these guys. They like the fact that the ballpark is pretty much filled most nights. Baseball is relevant again in the city, right? Like they enjoy that part of it, and they don't have much wiggle room to improve. So this is one of those last-ditch efforts to try to keep people at bay from being overly critical about them.
Look, we're trying.
Yes.
We're trying.
This is what it feels like to me
that's
going on.
The dramatics from you
It's
two.
I'm serious. It's not that hard.
It's a lineup.
Yes, it's a lineup.
Are the four best hitters sitting 1 through 4? Are they going to be there?
Yes.
So who cares?
What do you mean, who cares?
Like, listen, in a perfect world, I agree. I would rather have Turner do it, okay? Like, give Turner a 2-month runway, see if they take off. But, oh, my goodness. I know this is what you guys have to do on WIP. But, like...
Is that where we're going?
That took one out of the playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that one. But, like, I hear this over and over about the leadoff. And what if it works? What if it works? What if maximizing and trying to win every game, what if it works? Like, do you really need to shoehorn in Trea against a dominant righty? Or does it give a better option if Schwarber's leading off that game?
No, you know what? If he's one of the 10 best hitters in baseball, 10 best players in baseball, then yes, I'm okay with him hitting against whatever the starting pitcher is leadoff.
Well, he's not one of the...
That's what you told me he should be, right? You know, why isn't he now? He's not 10 years older than when he got here.
Yeah.
And he straight up said it is a different mindset hitting leadoff than not hitting leadoff.
Sure.
And you really think bouncing him back and forth is the right way to get him to do this the best way? It isn't.
But it's just... He's going to bat 4 times a game.
Yes, I'm aware of all of that.
He's going to bat leadoff once, and then he's going to go back to normal like the rest of the game. Then maybe his approach does change. I don't know. I just think this overreacting to Rob Thomson not making up his mind in spring training.
Rob Thomson doesn't have any guts. It's either he doesn't have any guts or he thinks we're stupid, and they're both bad answers. They're both bad answers from the organization.
I don't think he thinks anyone's stupid. I think that he is a player's manager. He's gotten here with these players, and I think if it makes them comfortable, and listen, if Trea goes to the 1, they take off, I think he'll stick with it.
They're not going to have a chance to take off.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes, they will.
How?
Because he's going to be in there 3 times a week probably.
Right, you're saying they're going to face some more lefties than they are righties?
Like, no, that's never happens.
Yeah, right.
But
so it's mostly going to be Schwarber.
Sure. Or if Trea gets hot, then they'll put him there. I don't know. But I just think this freaking out about opening day and it's over and like this, it feels like it's so doomsday-ish. I can't do it.
It's less about the opening day thing and it's more about coming into the season with this is the mindset and how we're going to manage the team, manage the ball club. Because here's the other thing. We focus in on Schwarber and Trea Turner, but the lineup changes affect other guys in the lineup.
Sure.
Where's Bone batting at? Right? He's going from batting, 4th? Or 3rd, because Bryce will be batting 2nd when Turner's leading off. Bohm is batting 3rd, and then Schwarber 4th.
Yeah.
So when Schwarber goes to lead off, now Bohm is moving up to down. He's
He'll
moving
hit
down
cleanup.
to
He'll hit
4.
cleanup.
He'll hit
Because
cleanup.
Bryce goes to 3 now.
Which doesn't make any sense. You can't have a guy who doesn't hit home runs hitting cleanup.
Well, it's the only one option they have.
But it's not the only option. It's not the only option.
What about the big dog in the right field?
I just can't get over. We talk 215-592-9494. Are you on Jack's side that this is not a big deal, or are you on the correct side, Ike and my side, that this is a big deal?
Baseball guys.
Yeah, true baseball guys. We talked about when we finally saw the lineup we wanted to see in spring training, right? Mm-hmm. Trea Turner leading off, Bryce hitting second. Mm-hmm. We were all like, well, how long are they going to give it? As it turns out, they're going to give it 2 days. They're going to give it 2 days. They're going to give it 2 days until we see a right-hander on the mound. That's the first time that we're not going to see it again. I just it drives me crazy that they look at what they've done. And we were mad that they didn't make any serious roster changes, correct, Ike?
Yep.
They didn't make any serious changes with the coaching staff, no changes with the coaching staff.
Nope.
They made no changes with the manager, and now they're not even changing the lineup. And to a certain extent, you have to, this is not if they were the I don't know, if they were the Astros and they had a few rings, then I would sit there and say, you know what? Maybe you do know better than everybody else. They've earned the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. They have not earned the benefit of the doubt here. They've been a good team that hasn't gotten over the hump. They've had declining returns in the playoffs. And then the final thing is, after the playoffs last year, nobody had an answer. Nobody had an answer. Everybody was just saying, even Dombrowski was like, well, our chase rate wasn't even that bad. And JT was like, it's just sort of like baseball. It's just, if I was Bryce Harper right now, I would actually be pissed off. I would actually be pissed off that the entire organization is not at least looking at one thing to change. What'd we do? We went and we got a pitcher that might be good if he doesn't get hurt. That's the entire offseason plan.
Well, and Max Kepler.
And
Jordan Romano.
Okay.
A real closer.
Another Max Kepler, if he's good like he was 3 years ago, and Jordan Romano also if he doesn't get hurt. Is that his deal too?
Yeah.
That's the huge change. And by the way, even if Luzardo is really, really good, that puts us in no different position than we were for the first half of last year, because we had a Ranger Suarez who was really, really good last year.
Sure. But ultimately, it's going to come down: are they going to get base hits in October? Right. And that doesn't matter if he's batting 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter.
And here's why it does matter. Why? It does matter because it sends a message that your approach needs to change. And to me, the biggest thing with Trea was sending him a message, because there's a lot of guys that could perform differently in the lineup that make things better, right? Mm-hmm. If Bryson Stott hits well, that will help things. But Castellanos, you're going to get what you're going to get out of anybody. Trea Turner is the guy that can change the complexion of the lineup, and having him hit leadoff and changing his approach to at-bats was a big thing. And I think it was as much about changing his mindset going into this season as anything else, and they've determined it's not that big a deal. Okay. For some fun, we will have a next question today. It is Peyton Manning's birthday. He is 49 years old. I do look at that. He's 1 year older than me, and he has accomplished a lot more than I have. I haven't won any Super Bowls. He's won 2. But in any case, Peyton Manning has been really, really good at 2 things. One thing, football. The other thing, selling stuff, right? Yeah. He's been really, really good at 2 things. So for next question today, we're going to look for people who are good at 2 things. Jack, you have at least half of a thing, right? Sure. In your career. Give us somebody who was good at 2 things.
You've done one thing in your career.
Yeah. Well.
Or you just showed me you were the 45th best player in the state.
In 2012.
Yeah.
2012.
Yeah. People forget that.
They do.
So I'm going for the big answer. I think it's Mount Rushmore. It hits home here in Philadelphia, and that's Charles Barkley.
That is a good one.
Chuck,
yeah, that is. I hadn't even thought of Charles.
Probably the best. Example.
I mean, one of the best. Certainly, if you're going to go for sports, it is one of the best. You have one?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the late, great, he just passed away.
Yep.
George Foreman.
Oh.
Boxer.
This is just like Peyton Manning, actually.
Yeah. Foreman actually had 2 chapters in his boxing career. Mm-hmm. He retired, became a preacher, then came back to boxing, became the heavyweight champion again when he knocked out Michael Moore. George Foreman, one of our favorites. And from that, he became a great pitch man. And for years, the Foreman Grill.
There is an entire generation of people who only knew George Foreman from the grill. Yes. From the grill.
Good invention, too. It's like a hot plate now, but back with 25 years ago.
It was awesome.
It was
the
awesome.
Foreman Grill.
It was in every college apartment.
Yes.
Every kitchen, every regular kitchen. And then there was the bigger Foreman Grill.
Yep.
They had all different. So I'm going to go with actually a two-sport athlete. I'm going to go with Deion. Deion playing football.
Had 3 acts.
Yes, he has had 3. Yeah, but he is a good coach. I think he's proven he's a good coach. But for me, as a teenager, Deion playing for the Falcons and playing for the Braves and being great at 2 different sports.
Yeah,
two
different sports.
So 2 different sports. So there you go. So first thing is the Phillies lineup a big deal? 215-592-9494. Jack says we're making too big a deal out of it because he is protecting his precious Phillies and his precious Trea and his precious Bryce. And next question.
Like I see it.
Next question. Give us somebody who was good at 2 things on Peyton Manning's birthday, good at football and a pitch man.